Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Wizard Outlook. Got Cardo Dustin here, Raymond Lions. Exciting game between the Wizards and Nets tonight. Went down to the very last seconds. Before we get into that, a quick word from my folks over at Wizard Oz. As always, it's restaurant week. As always, we implore you guys to go check them out. So once again, join us in-house at Georgia Avenue location for a $40 restaurant meal. 2 cocktails, 1 entree, 1 dessert for only $40. Again, 2 cocktails, 1 entree, 1 dessert for only $40. Get over to uzinaz.com to see the menu for hours or more. Again, the Georgia Avenue location. All right, as Cardell, you were in the building. Um, you know, what was it like down the stretch of them?
Man, before we even get to that part, man, the first team that played defense won. That's what I got out of this right away. The thing is, man, you can't do that with the Nets. They got two All World scorers, and they got a big boost off the bench. And LaMarcus Aldridge, 27 points. No one saw that coming. You know what I mean? He had his way down low and in the mid range as usual. If you don't guard him, but all in all, down the stretch, it was just it was a battle of who would make the mistake first. And the Wizards made a couple of mistakes, a couple of forced turnovers, a couple of sloppy rotations that left a couple of shooters over and whatnot. And it still came down to the wire. It's just a kind of a similar pattern throughout the season. The Wizards, man, they just haven't put together a full game defensively, man. And this is a dangerous team to do that to, where you just kind of just go have a shootout. You score, I score. You're not gonna win that against this team at all. Then they turned it up in the second half, and they turned it up in the fourth quarter even more, and they was getting stops. So it's just like, why can't you do this in the first half? So you wouldn't even have to be in this position. You know what I mean? And that's just the most frustrating thing. Kyrie, look, he's a wizard with the ball. He's damn near unguardable. It just is what it is. James Harden set the table. He doing what he do. You kind of figure those two are going to do their fair share of damage. Fine. Because you can add 27 from LaMarcus Aldridge, man, at this stage of his career. Now, if it's Portland, LaMarcus Aldridge, you got to take that L. You got to take that on the chin, too. You know what I mean? But that's what he looked like tonight. He looked like he was back in Portland, playing with Brandon Roy and those guys, and he just stayed at the elbow and lit them up. And it was just as simple as that. They just pretty much down the stretch with the Nets, they put the Wizards in pick and roll coverage with either Kyrie or James Harden, and had Aldridge come and screen. Pick your poison. What you gonna do? You know what I mean? You either gonna try to get over the pick and whatever, and Aldridge gonna pop out, or you gonna switch, and then he gonna go to the low block and still shoot over you and shoot your eyes out. And it's just about matchups, man. And I just feel like down the stretch, the Nets were more poised and better at executing to get the type of shots that they wanted than the Wizards, man. And those little things is what cost you the game. All in all, man, look, this is a game if they just showed up and played defense for in the first half for give us another quarter, they could have easily won this game. And that's just how they shot more free throws. They were 26 to 32. They shot good from the field, 47. I think they outshot the Nets from three, 34% to 32%. The problem was the Nets shot 52% from the field because you couldn't stop those three. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna forget what Sharp did, 14 points, rookie, six rebounds. Like, come on, man. And then Patty Mills, man. What can we say, dog? He does what he does. 17 points, 6 of 10, 5 of 7 from three. That's game. We can sit up here overanalyze all we want, man. It just came down to who executed on both ends better, and the Nets did it better. Because even in the first half, I felt like both teams weren't really playing defense. At times, they would still get key stops. You know what I mean? And then they would go on their scoring barrage, and now the Wizards was at maybe down 6. Now they down 15. It was just like that. Now the Wizards got to fight back, and that kept being the case until in the fourth quarter when they made a run. I think the Nets thought they had the game run. They said Kyrie. And then the Wizards made their run, and then Kyrie came back in, and it was just a shootout to the end. But look, man, the Wizards got to figure out something because it's like teams are just finding a weak link somehow every night to exploit the Wizards and just destroy them through that weak link. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna give credit to Denny, man. Denny, in the fourth quarter, he got some key stops on Kyrie, and that's a tough that's a tough win, man. That's about as tough as you're gonna get, man. And then the thing is, I know it's with the Nets. Truth be told, Kyrie could have had 50 if he wanted to. You know what I'm saying? But they just playing team ball. They just setting the table like James Harden was just masterful in how he set the table, got everybody involved, and it kept the Wizards occupied just enough where they couldn't just really key in on those three. When once Aldridge got going, they still had to worry about Kessler. They still had to worry about Shot crashing to the boards. They still had to obviously worry about Patty Mills. You know what I mean? Bruce Brown getting offensive rebounds, hustling and stuff like that. And it's just little things like that that they really have to clean up. They have too much depth not to be worried about getting tired or not making quick rotations to get stops or whatnot. Like look, man, you get tired, who cares? You got backup, dog. So do your job and stop complaining to the refs. Same old stuff we always been saying to us. Stop complaining to the refs and get back on defense, bro. They're not gonna change the call. Now that one call over there by the Nets bench when they threw it to Kuz and the coach interfered, I get that. Like, come on, dog. Like, come on, ref. Like, you right there. So I get that. And that was a big turnover. That was a big turnover that gave it to the Nets. And you see 1 point game. I'm pretty sure we'll hear about it in the post game. But look, man, they had every chance to win this game. And this is one of those games where it's gonna be tough to sleep at night because they should have won this game, especially with no KD, Nick Claxton and whatnot. This was a winnable game, and then do the little things down the stretch and the cost you.
For sure. Ray, your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, it's not even a whole lot to talk about for me, man. It begins and ends on the defensive end. They gave up 72 points in the first half. Like that's like it's hard to beat a team when you when you letting them do whatever they want. Um, and then of all teams, this team with the firepower that they have, you got to be locked in on the defensive end. Because as you can see, the points will pile up quick on you, and yeah, like and it's just super frustrating because we saw what they're capable of defensively, in the waning moments of the game. Um, people were sitting down, getting stops, and just getting help side blocks, and like you need that throughout, you know. So yeah, man, like Cardell said, man, this is a completely winnable game. And it's a little disappointing they let this one get away, especially after the way they played on Monday. Yeah, man, this one stings, especially after having to fight back from down 16, and you put yourself in a position to steal one, and you you just fall by the wayside, man. I'm sure there's a lot of like when they go back and do video for this game, it's gonna be a lot of points where they're like, yeah, this was a blown opportunity. The one the the 3/4 court pass when Dinwiddie tossed it up to Trez and he fumbled it out of bounds. Like little stuff like that just catches up to you in the end. Especially when you're not playing defense. Like you can't afford to leave points on the table when you're not getting stops. And that's just what we saw, man. And yeah, and the Nets were just able to execute more efficiently down the stretch, and that's why they came away with the win. But you know, there's no moral victories around here. Applaud the effort, but this should have been a win. But shake it off, keep fighting. They got another one on Friday. Um, like they're smack dab in the middle of this homestand right now. But it's things to build on. But you gotta look at yourself after this one and be like, we can be better. Because if they give a little more defensive effort early in the game, then this isn't even a thing. Um, and yeah, some of the whistles didn't go their way, but they spending way too much time talking about it, and then they like one time they let the Nets run out on a made basket and go down and get an and one, like little stuff like that, man. Is that just can't happen. So yeah, this is definitely a tough one, man. I can only imagine how they feel, the guys that actually went through it, because it's you know, it's frustrating for me watching at home. But yeah, it's over with. Just get ready for Toronto on Friday.
Yeah, it's not too much to add. Like you guys said, you just had to come out and care in the first half on the defensive end. Like, and the sad part is we saw on Sunday, you know, you got on Sunday you came out, you competed defensively, and you saw what your reward was. How could you come into this game tonight in the first half? What was it, 72, 74? 74 points on 63% shooting in the first half. 63%. And like you
Bro,
said, Carter, it's not like they had it going from threes. This was all at the basket and in mid-range jumpers.
ISO,
Hey,
ball. No, like you should
63%.
take. It should make you sick to see 41 and a quarter.
Yep.
Oh, you working on 50, bro, in a quarter. So like, that means non-existent.
Like legit non-existent. And you mentioned Denny, shout Denny, Rui a couple times taking on some of the tough matchups and doing kind of a better job with their size, sticking with folks like Kyrie. And kind of for me, I'm looking at some of the Wizards guards like, yeah, I'm proud of Denny and Rui. Why are Denny and Rui doing a better job than you guarding your position? Like have some freaking pride. That was disgusting. And Patty Mills was doing whatever the heck he felt like doing, whenever he felt like doing it, because Denny and Rui are worried about the bigger cannons, the nuclear weapons at that time, which means, again, those two, when they were in the game, they were taking it care of A and B, and y'all couldn't. And Patty was unbothered. Patty had an unbothered 17. Like, the guards need to take some pride in that end of the floor. They have all the energy on offense. Play defense. Like it's just not a good look, man. And
Shit,
like you
don't let the
guys,
bigs off the hook either. Don't let the bigs off the
oh
hook.
no, no, no.
Aldridge cooked the
Look,
whole front line.
look, I wasn't even done, especially
Everybody.
with the bigs. All three of them he gave all three of them what they needed to see. All of them got a piece of it. The
Drew
turn, like
Gooden
you
on
said,
the
it looked
radio
like Gordon.
broadcast. Drew
Like you
Gooden
said, it
over
looked
here on the
like Gordon.
broadcast, he got some of it. Like, come on, bro. I'm like, oh my. Not even touching,
Jason
barely
Smith
touching
got
around.
some in the studio too.
Man,
Yeah, bro.
what's it called? They want to broadcast saying the drop step's coming, and the drop step comes.
And Cool's just like, dang. And then Trez got on him, and it's just, you know what I'm saying? He like, he I understand he's a mismatch, but at this stage in his career, you know he ain't gonna go by you.
You get nothing but
So
jumpers.
yes, dog. Yes, unless unless you let him establish low post position, then you fool. But
Hey, look, you
he
get a
ain't about to
face-up
go by you.
jumper. You get a face-up jumper, a fadeaway, and a turnaround. Like, this is where you getting right now.
Man,
It's
and then you don't
but
exploit
again,
those matchups. You see what I'm saying? Like he can't guard nobody at this stage. Hell, in his prime, he was heavy leg, bro. He ain't moving with nobody, man. He guards standing up. You see what I'm saying? So why don't y'all exploit that? Why don't y'all look for matchups? Because that's what the Nets did. They took their time and just looked.
man.
They weeded the Wizards out. Let me find a weak link. Okay, and that's why. Hold on. Let me look at these minutes real quick. Hold on. I don't mean to pick on. I'm just saying.
I know where you're going.
Certain players only play 8 minutes a day. Because they wasn't about to have them out there, dog, be food and have Kyrie and James hunting them. You know
Patty
what I'm saying?
found him.
So, look. Look, man. It's about people say heart mean like tough and all that. To me, heart is just about being competitive. Taking pride, and they're just too inconsistent on the defensive end, man. And you're not gonna beat this team. Like Lord knows, if they would have had KD, this would have been over in the third quarter. You know what I mean? Just being real. So, nah, man. It's kind of disheartening a little bit, man, because you had this chance to win, and all you had to do was something fundamental, just defend. You don't need a coach to scheme up. You know what the schemes are. You've been doing it. It's before these some games in. You know what the deal is. You played against Kyrie and them before. You know what I'm saying? So fine. They get theirs, that's fine. But you can't let Patty get off. You can't let Aldridge get off. You can't let Sharp, a rookie, be working on a double double. It's just like you're not gonna win like that, man. You just come on, man. 27, that hurt. Yeah, Lamarcus, damn, 11 to 15.
An
He ain't see,
unbothered 27. He
he
had
ain't
an
see nobody.
unbothered 27. Patty had an unbothered 17. And Sharp had a cool 14, I think. I think it was 14.
Mhm.
But I got to ask you guys who you guys have for player of the game, as always.
Oh shoot. uh, Lamarcus all. I'm going with Lamarcus Aldridge, dog.
Right?
Yeah, man, like that was that was completely out the blue, and he destroyed them. Like that was embarrassing, like flat
Yeah.
out. Like at this stage, he should not be having games like this. Like no
And barely
disrespect to him at
moved.
all, man, but he's
And barely moved
he
from a spot,
he
dog.
moved like Frankenstein and gave him 30 easily. Like
Yeah, and I'm with you guys. And they usually can't leave him on the floor that long because of people. Other teams usually do try to exploit him. There's a nice little rotation when they're healthy. He gives them some minutes, but he wasn't supposed to give him that. And then 27 in those minutes. And the fact that he just dismantled the entire front court. He had buckets for all of them. Yeah, that was player of the game. All right, who you guys have as your X factor?
uh, Day'Ron Sharp. 14 points, 6 rebounds. Rookie. Love his activity. Even his defensive presence, man. He was hedging out hard. The guard, with his guards, including me, they were struggling to turn a corner on him. And they had to kick it right back out, throw a cross court pass to somebody hoping they were open from three. And then you got Kessler and those guys and Patty Mills hustling over there to close out. So you're not getting an easy three. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's why I'm like in Spurs, and they're strapped. But the Wizards, they waited till like the second half of the fourth quarter to all right, let's turn it up. And it's just like you setting yourself up for failure with that.
Right.
yeah, I went with Sharp as well for his just his activity in general. Like a lot of times when the Wizards was making their push and the Nets would extend the lead back out, he's tapping out those offensive rebounds back to Harden and those guys, and they're taking advantage of them opportunities and scoring. So those are things that might not show up in the box score. People don't take into account, but that's important, man, because if the Wizards are able to corral those defensive rebounds and they get an opportunity to score, then who knows how this game ends up. And he's down there battling with TB, Trez, and Gafford. So yeah, he definitely those 16 minutes was valuable 16 minutes.
Yeah, I'm with you guys with Sharp. You saw it, Cardell. You got a better look at it than us being in the building, but just on a broadcast, his activity, his athleticism, his physicality, it jumped off the screen down there. You could help but notice when he was down there because he was mixing it up with somebody. Arms were always up, always doing something. And Gafford got out to a quick start. And Sharp kind of matched him in that start early on before he got in
Yeah.
foul trouble.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm with that. And I think what you mentioned earlier, Carter, talk about things you didn't pencil in. Neither of those two's production was on anybody's bingo card coming into this game.
Nah,
All right,
not at all. Not at
so
all, dog.
that's
And
why.
he's a big boy.
Yep,
6'9",
yep.
265. So he ain't an easy win at
Yeah,
all.
and it's a totally different physicality he brings to the table versus Clax, where it's all arms and legs, obviously
Mm-hmm.
athleticism, but like you said, 6'9", 265, furniture's moving down there. It's a big. You feel him when you're going through the paint. You know he's there. All right, we're gonna get through some of these comments. Uh, Thank you guys as always for tuning in. We appreciate it. Anthony Tony wanted a timeout at the end of the game. What do you guys feel about that?
Um, they got a veteran squad, man. And, let them execute. And they got a good look. Kuz had a good look. He
Mm-hmm.
just missed. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you can't let the defense set up, man. You know what I'm saying? Because think about it, down the stretch, they was turning the ball over, so he might have he could set up a play. They might have turned that joint over, did something stupid like they did. So at least you caught the Nets off guard. They had to rotate and try to scramble and try to get a stop or whatever. And like I said, they got a good look, And honestly, even the Dinwiddie heave at the end, as the buzzer expired, it was on target. It hit the left side of the rim. You know what I mean? So yeah, I would love for them to see them take it into the basket.
Mm-hmm.
But I gotta look at the play again to see why they did. I know Caldwell had an angle, but they got back, so he brought it back out. Try to stay poised and get a better look. And like I said, it did lead to Kuz having a wide open three, a good three. You know what I mean? But I think they were a little too predictable down the stretch that you could tell they were looking for Bill, and I think the Nets knew that. You know what I'm saying? So it shouldn't be like that. Kuz is proven to be clutch in the moment. Hell, he hit the three to get him right then. With 1 point. So hindsight's 2020, but I wasn't mad at it.
They said because they didn't win, you can't get the free McDonald's.
Cardell, I don't think you eat McDonald's, do you?
Right.
Not like that every blue moon.
Get Grant to boost defense, even if it costs you Denny and others.
The roster isn't the issue, man. They got what they need. Like it doesn't need to be tinkered with anymore. They need to play defense, plain and simple. When they play defense, we see the results. Like we don't need to get anybody else. Like it's.
I'm with you. Hold them accountable. Show up and work on that end of the floor. Replacement coach, replacement refs lost his game for you. Nah, the Wizards lost his game for themselves.
No excuses, bro. They did what they've been doing.
Yeah.
Nope, that's on them.
Let's go back to this real quick. The refs did not make the refs did not help Brooklyn score 74 points in the first half. No.
And LaMarcus Aldridge did not score 27 on the refs.
That was on the Wizards. We most definitely shouldn't won this game. Bad refs and all. I hate this. You should have won this game. But again, the refs. There was that one call where it looked like David Vanderpool clearly touched the ball. Outside of that one, I want to hear it. Like the Wizards won a couple challenges. Like a whole first half of basketball went past. Like you can't ignore what wasn't done in the whole half of basketball. They'll worry about doubling Kyrie and leaving James open on three numerous times.
Harden wasn't hitting like that, so I get it. Kyrie for damn sure was hitting like that, so they needed help with that boy because what he had 22 at the half, something like that. Like he was on his way. He was working on 50, man. They're lucky he's chilling. They're lucky he's more spiritual and relaxed now. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, this is where we go. All right,
I'm just saying. Just being real. Young Kyrie was relentless. He definitely would have put 50 on their head. You know what I'm saying? So they had to do something.
Nets had highest scoring half this season, and LaMarcus Aldridge had a season high. Yeah.
That's why it's the Wizards, not the refs.
I present this without commentary.
Yeah, I'm staying away from that, dog.
Yep.
You trying to get our credentials taken.
Man, trying to get us out of here. Blake would have had an unbothered 30 piece if he played.
Yeah, I mean, he might as well. Lob City again.
Had Nets in foul trouble with 7 minutes left and barely attacking the rim, shaking my head.
I noticed that too. They were settling too much, but that's what they do. You know what I mean? I don't know what it is, man. Is it fatigue? Is it conditioning? That's what that usually come down to, man. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not like, Sharp and Edwards, they're athletic enough, but they're not known as rim protectors. Not quite, not yet. Yeah. So who down there was going to, you know what I'm saying, bother them? You know what I'm saying? But now they do swarm. I'll get the Nets credit. When you get in the lane, they do, the whole team do dig down, and it's like a crowd. So it's hard to get easy baskets, and that's what they do. But, all in all, I would love to see them attack a little bit more. Because Wizards got free throws, what they shoot? 32 free throws.
Yeah.
So they
for as much as the comments are about the refs, they was getting the whistle. Yeah. They the ones that stopped going to the basket.
They left stuff at the line too.
Mm-hmm.
Was it 1.0? They left points at the line as many times as they went. Too bad they lost the game. It was a good game, I think, for the Wizards. But in the last quarter, I would get out KCP and bring Denny, I guess he means, for the defense.
He was there. He was getting the stops. He was in. He was getting he was in late and getting key stops, but I mean as much as you want it for defense, man, you still gotta make shots when you're down. That's the point. So Denny hasn't been shooting the ball well this season, man. So you need somebody that can kind of do both, and KCP can do both. Plus, he's a veteran and he understands the situation, man. Then he's still kind of learning.
From Area 11C, where was Brad at for half the game?
Hey, I was wondering the same thing. Maybe y'all can answer the question. He was very timid with the aggressiveness, especially. These one of the games where you need Brad. I need 30 points, Brad. You gotta be good. What you holding back for, dog? You got two, like you said, you got two hired guns on the other side. You're a hired gun. You come on now. You need those buckets. What you holding on? Like what you keeping bullets in the clip for?
Like if you match Kyrie, it's a totally different game. If you just match Kyrie,
right?
Even with the night MLA had, if you match Kyrie, but I don't like Cardell said. I don't have an answer for that. And in our last comment, which is Anthony Tony laughing about his earlier comment about protocols and whatnot, man. I swear if that happens, man, please don't comment on next
I'm protocoled out, man. I'm protocoled out, man. Because it's it's
we
a guy
working
on the
down
other
the
team
coaching staff on protocols.
It ain't even that, man. It's a guy on the other opposite team they played today that took it all out of her. I don't even want to talk about it, dog.
And last but not least, are the Wizards buyers or sellers as the trade deadline approaches?
Man, I think this is the team they got to ride with. You know what I'm saying? At the end of like the pieces that teams will want, you're not gonna give up. And you don't have enough to really go out there and just go get a big free agent. It's some people available like in Indiana, Sabonis and Levert and all that, but Miles Turner, I think he's somebody that would definitely help. But you got three bigs. I mean, it just comes down to the players, man. Sometimes it ain't about nothing else but the players just really buying in and stop being selfish. I see a lot of selfish play in how they playing and just play for one another. And so they get to that point, you're gonna keep having, up and down results.
All right, my bad. The last one. I think they should have left Rui and Danny or Kispert finish the game since they make good decisions. I mean, again, they got a clean look, but
I hear what you're saying. Kispert, no disrespect, was food tonight. He was one of the guys that got cooked, but he's a rookie. I don't fault him at all. He got to learn. His first time playing against Kyrie and James. It was a learning experience. It is what it is. Denny did well. But what did Denny shoot today? Shot pretty well, 4 for 7. He was solid. You know what I mean? He was solid. You know what I mean? But that's why he played down the stretch. And Rui, I think it was just a number game. The coach rolled what he was rolling with. Like Rui had to go on 14.59. So you got a point with having those two in, but who you gonna take out?
Yeah. And that's going to be something interesting going forward as they keep playing. Like, see how these rotations come to be. Because everyone just got back. It hasn't even been a full 2 weeks.
And I got to throw this out there with 3 different coaches. The rotations are crazy because each coach got a different style, different mindset. So it's an adjustment game to game, though. You know what I mean? So until West get back, it's gonna be crazy.
Like we saw Denny get garbage time on Monday, and one of the first cats off the bench today. As an example, what you just mentioned, like it's been bonkers with the rotations. Like, all right. Want to thank y'all for hanging with us tonight. As always, we got we'll be back Friday night. They take on the Raptors. It's an 8 p.m. start time, so it means we'll be getting on here a little bit later than normal. As always, but follow the Focus TV and all your social media mediums. Y'all have a great evening. We'll see you guys for Business Outlook on Friday evening.